time in the market for first time buyer. Is it possible? Like if you were to just give that simple answer, what was it again?
It's no.
It's no.
It's no.
So let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
When should a first time buyer enter into the market?
The right answer, the perfect answer, you should get into the market.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bottom Line Podcast. This is episode 2. For those of you that stuck around past episode 1, we really appreciate that. We're back. We're back with another episode. We're back, whether you like us or not. You probably enjoyed the first episode if you're back.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it came out all right.
You must like us a bit.
Decent.
So
it was decent.
So we're back to talk about some real estate and financing things, obviously. And we're here to mainly discuss, well, not mainly, but we're definitely going to touch upon first-time buyers.
Yeah,
today.
I say we jump right into it because that's, a very, very touchy subject here in Canada right now, right? Home ownership. How is anyone going to...
I would say people feel like it's almost impossible to become.
Yeah, I think there was a poll. Yeah, there was a poll. I think that a bunch of, more than 50% of people polled thought it's never going to happen.
They're just thinking about rent.
Rent.
Owning is not even an option.
2030, you'll own nothing.
And you'll
be happy.
Oh yeah, be happy. Yeah, that's not going to happen with our clients. That's for sure.
We're getting you in.
I think that's the trap, right? That's the trap. People are falling into it, thinking it's impossible, right? But we make the impossible possible, right?
The real thing about renting that I want to touch on. I know we're not going to talk about
go
renting
into
much,
it. Touch
a lot of first time home
touch
buyers.
It all. Touch them all, Joe.
92, 93. A lot of first time home buyers come from renting, right? They're usually renting and then say, okay, now it's time to buy. So that's why I want to touch upon renting. When you rent, it's great, right? You don't have to pay property tax. You don't have to pay, something breaks, your fridge breaks, you don't have to fix it.
Call the
landlord comes in, right? You're not paying maintenance fees if you're in a condo, whatever the case may be, right? You're paying your utilities, you're paying your rent, you move on with your day. So your cost is probably much lower. It is much lower, especially in today's day. But what are you going to do when you're 55? What are you going to do when you're 60? Are you thinking about it? Are you not thinking about it? Are you going to rent when you're 60 years old? Because that $3,000 condo or townhouse, whatever you're renting right now, is going to be $6,000 probably at that time. If you're around our age, you're making $6,000 a month
from your pension
or wherever you're making. I don't know, you're making not
if
200
you're
grand.
Lucky enough to have a
if you
pension.
are, God bless. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do when you're 60, 65, 70? You're going to continue renting? That's where I talk to a lot of our clients. I talk to a lot of our clients because at the end of the day, it's not about now. It's about the future, right? It's about being able to purchase something and be safe when you retire or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
So I feel like a lot of renters, for whatever reason, don't think about 30, 40, 50 years down the road. But there's going to be a time when you're 75, you're 80, and you don't own a property and you're paying $6,000 for rent where you just didn't have to have a mortgage, right?
Yeah. Real estate is, like what people always say, it's the long-term game. Yeah. Right. And it's long-term in terms of gaining your equity and your return on your investment, but it's also to Lou's point, it's where you're going to be residing. Yeah. Right? You want to be able to afford that home over your head when you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. Exactly. And if you're renting and rents go up like they did now, rents have skyrocketed, right? So
and we've had clients like that are renting, and we explain this to them, like what Lou just said about when you're 50, when you're 60, where are you guys going to go, right? And they think about it, and they became first time home buyers, and they're really happy right now, right? So it's a big initial jump because you're taking on way more expenses, but in the end, it is worth it, 100%.
Yeah. Well, think about it, right? Like let's say you're 70 years old. You're paying $6,000 a month for rent. That's $72,000 for the year, right? Really quick. Yeah. $72,000 for the year. But if you own that house for 20, 25, 30 years, you're paying $0 for your mortgage, right? You're paying your property tax.
Exactly.
$5,000-$6,000, whatever you want to call it, depending where you live.
Yeah,
right?
you want to be able to, as you get older, reduce those obligations, right? And enjoy your life and, live stress-free.
So that's our goal. Bring first-time home buyers into the market, right? In a way that is possible. You don't always have to listen to that stuff online, Toronto Star, whatever the case may be.
Don't listen to that bullshit.
Toronto Star. No, I won't mention any more names. That's where it ends right there.
First and last.
The media.
Yeah. No, you don't want to believe everything like, first time home buying is impossible. It's not impossible. And this is kind of where we work together, right? To service our clients, because at the end of the day, as a first time home buyer, you need to have a mortgage broker that's going to look out for your best interest. You need to have a realtor or realtors that look out for your best interest, because when you get into the market, a lot of the times is almost one of the most important things if you're a first time buyer, right? You want to make sure you buy a sound investment. You want to make sure I call a home for myself an investment, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be there forever. I'm probably going to sell it. So I want to make sure it's a good investment. Yes, it's a home, but to me, it's still an investment. And, what you're approved for, right? This is why.
Yeah. What are some of the difficulties with first-time home buyers?
Well, number one is the idea of, you have to have the 20% down payment. That's, one of our myths that we need to debunk right away.
Yeah. Let me ask you then, do you need 20% down? Because a lot of people think you do. A lot of people say, I don't have 20%. I can't buy. We've seen it.
You absolutely do not need 20% down payment to purchase a property, to get approved for a mortgage. And it's very lucrative right now. The idea that people think, if that's the only way in, right? And that's one of the discouraging components right now for the people trying to get in. You can put down as little as 5% on a purchase. Anything up to $500,000, 5% of that. So every amount over that, right, up to $999,999, you need just another 10%. So with a small down payment, a lot of people can make their way into the market,
into home ownership, right?
And start building that wealth and start building up that equity. We have several clients that we've assisted putting down, 7%.
I did 10% with you.
10%. You did 10% that first time with me.
Yeah. Now look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you now, Mike.
Well, look at that investment.
Look at you now. Please share that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. I didn't.
That was, I know you can't, we are all in accordance that you can't time the market.
Yeah.
Unless you're Mike. Right? Like,
exactly. Did he ever?
Did he ever? Right?
That was,
tell us. But we'll get back to the stress test in a second, because this is a very important story.
Yeah, no, I didn't put 20% down. I came to you. I didn't have 20%.
No.
It was that property in New Market. So what did I do? I put 10%. My payment was a little bit higher every month, right? Mm-hmm. Not by much, just a little bit, right? But
interest rates were low at that time.
The rates were low.
Right? So
before you continue, can I say this too? I'm not the mortgage guy here. This guy's a mortgage guy. But if you put down less than 20%, you get
my rate.
You have better
high
rates.
ratio.
Yeah, my rate was better.
High ratio mortgages, insured mortgages.
Okay.
Because anytime you put down less than 20% on a property, you have to get mortgage insurance, and it actually gives a lender solace that property, even if you go to Cabo for the rest of your life and stop paying your
It's
your
not
payments.
a bad idea at all, by the way.
We'll talk about it. And you don't pay your mortgage payments anymore, they will get compensated. So what they do as a result, they provide you with a lower rate. So right now, the best rates in the market are the insured rates.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I wanted to say. You can get a better rate.
You get a good rate.
Less than 20%.
Yes, there's a little bit of your insurance premium gets tacked onto the mortgage, but
all in all,
it's amortized over the full length of the mortgage rate, those 25 years, right?
So you don't really feel it that much.
You don't feel it, right?
Exactly.
It increases the payment just a little bit. So,
and it gets you into the market.
My fault.
But,
exactly. Back to you.
But from that, bottom line,
Jerry.
The bottom line from that was basically got into the market. It was the easiest way for me to get into the market.
100%.
And that's when everything boomed during COVID. The property doubled in value. So if I was just sitting on the sidelines waiting to collect 20%, right?
Oh, you would have never
been able to get into the market.
Yeah, no chance.
I would have been a renter.
A lifetime renter.
There's ways to get around it, right?
Of course, but while you're like, people are thinking they have to aspire to that 20%, right? Okay, so for example, if they're being told average price of a property is $1 million, okay, 20%. They need to save $200,000.
No chance.
Right? So people are thinking, I got to save $200,000. The prices just keep going up. So, even now, right? Like you guys could say prices have still gone up, even though, all these interest rates have gone up and the market's taken it. The overall year over year average price has still gone up.
Yeah. Oh, right? No, for sure.
Exactly. 100%. Not by 100%, but it has gone up.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, Tol. What can you bring to the table for first-time home buyers?
To make it easier?
Yeah, to make it easier. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about it right now, but what can actually be done? We're trying to get to the bottom.
So, absolutely. The bottom line is this. It's the stress test is involved. So essentially, whatever your market rate is that contract rate that's being offered to you, your income and the ratios between your income and your liabilities has to be able to sustain 2% higher than the rate you're being offered. Okay. So right now that makes people have to qualify at upwards of 8% because rates are at about 6%. The stress test number used to be 5.25%. It is still 5.25%. That's the benchmark rate.
Yeah.
So it's the greater of the two, contract rate plus 2% or 5.25%.
That's right now.
That's right now.
By the time you hear this, it might be higher.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever today's date is, that's what it currently is. We, as mortgage brokers, understand that may be difficult for people, especially first-time home buyers who are, maybe just coming out of college or university or just starting out their positions and not making as much on the books. We have products where you can qualify at that contract rate, right? So that helps you be able to borrow more money and qualify. Okay. Is it a permanent thing? Do you always have to stick on these rates? No. We also have alternative lenders, B lenders, who have extended ratios where for a premium and a shorter length period or whatnot, you're able to qualify and you're able to actually get into that property. And then we could talk about switching you over to an A side. So for me as a mortgage broker, what I bring to the table for first-time home buyers is options. Okay. Lots of different options from all my various lenders where we make it happen. Right.
Yeah. Which because I'm sure you get tons of different scenarios from different first-time home buyers in terms of like their income, their liabilities, and all that stuff. Right.
Exactly. So, whether, you got people who like to, they have an expensive car payment or whatever, and they don't realize the impact that has on their qualification, or they have a low income, but their aspiration is to get a very high purchase price.
Yeah.
We have some clients like that.
It's champagne dreams on a beer budget is what we like to say, right? So but
it's also that gears to the fact that sometimes people don't know, right? They don't know what they can afford, and that's totally fine. That's where we come in. That's where we bring, if we got to bring a client to you, bring a client to us, whatever the case may be. We talk about what you can afford, where you should buy, what's the best fit for you, right? A lot of people don't actually know what they can do with the money that they have, or think that they just don't have the money when they do have the money.
How far it can go, what the options are, right?
Yeah.
Gifted options from parents. Yeah. You can add a cosigner, you can get a guarantor.
Not to cut you off, but do you do you have any personal experiences where like you were able to do something for a first-time buyer that did not think was possible? Like maybe, I don't know, getting them approved for more than what they thought they could get approved for? Or?
Absolutely. Well, we have people didn't realize that, they could add people to the mortgage as guarantors or as cosigners. That's number one. We had some of your own clients that's what put them over the edge in terms of qualifying, right? That pushed them through the finish line to be able to qualify. That's the most common right now, the gifted down payment and the cosigner or the guarantor added to your deal.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the most common. The other side of it is the contract rate qualification, right? So you have to qualify at a lower interest rate. So that kind of nullifies the effects of the stress test, and or going to alternative lenders. So a B lender, whether it's a credit union or a private lender or any of our options where the ratios get extended and you're able to qualify for a little bit more at a slight premium on your mortgage rate.
Yeah. When first time home buyers come to us, like after we have that conversation, Mike and I have that conversation with them, like what they're looking for, what their thoughts are. Right. And we understand where they want to be and what kind of property they're looking for. next thing we do is we call our mortgage broker, obviously, and we make sure that whatever they're looking for, it's possible, right? And if it's not possible,
put them into something else that works, and they're still happy.
Right? There's a lot of first-time home buyers that maybe, they're looking to buy something for themselves that they probably want in 5-10 years for themselves, right? But real estate it's like building blocks. So there's a foundation you need to pour first, right? No pun intended, obviously, real estate. But like sometimes you can't afford that property. You might not be able to get that, detached house in Vaughan right away. You might have to start off in a condo. You might want to start off in a townhouse. Things that you can afford to build equity, right?
Yeah. You might have to go a little further out.
That's okay too. Yeah. Like we have a client that we have, one of our good friends actually, our first client, we won't mention any names, but you'll know once I talk about him, purchased a condo in Vaughan. And that spiraled. Younger guy, obviously, had a little bit of money saved up, not a ton, but a little bit of money saved up. And he was able to purchase just before the pandemic. It was like end of 2019 or something like that. He did incredibly well with that condo. It's not built yet. It was a Precon, but he did incredibly well. It's building equity right now. And when it's finished, he's going to have a nice chunk of change in there. Now, was that his property that he wants to live in forever? Absolutely not. Yeah, can he live in it? Yeah, if he wants to, he can. But he's got bigger aspirations. He's got bigger dreams. After he bought that condo, he went on and bought a townhouse with us as well. And he's got big things planned for him. But it was him reaching out and just asking a question. What can I do with this? Right.
Yeah. And I don't think he actually at the beginning thought he could do it.
No, he definitely didn't. He didn't.
And we explained how he can get in to the market, and it made sense. And he jumped in, and he's in a great position now. Exactly.
Yeah. He was just calling me asking a question, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then we were able to, the timing was perfect because we were able to secure him that condo. As a lot of people know, once COVID hit, the market just absolutely blew up. I'd say like a year after COVID. Well, last year, right? 2022 was insane for real estate, but he got in 2019, 2020 by just asking a simple question. We were able to scoop him something that worked for him. So, I mean, there's stories out there that people that they made money through real estate, whether it's investing, whether it's first time buying, but you won't know unless you actually align yourself with the right people
and share and have those stories shared.
Yeah, of course.
Well, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to keep that information or those stories to ourselves. And correct me if I'm wrong, this gentleman came my way and we had, purchased with mom and dad as well.
Oh, right? One of them. Yeah.
One of them, right?
Yeah, one of them was.
And,
they made money on both.
Yeah. Refinanced the owner occupied property to, help finish the deposit structure, right? And get that all secured.
And one's closing in the fall, I think.
That's the one.
So they'll be able to cash out one of them, which is sweet. This is awesome. Great story. Shout out to our first ever client. Obviously, that's huge. Put us on the map, I guess you can say, right?
And Tony, when you talk about co-signers and guarantors and stuff like that, some people don't want to be tied in with their family, right? Mm-hmm. So I understand that they don't want to have like mom and dad on the property, right?
The pride sometimes gets in the way.
The Italian pride. Yeah. But you can remove those guarantors after, correct?
You actually could speak to this a little bit more, but in time, as time progresses, you connect with your lawyer, and they can be removed off the title, and you can easily actually, with a communication with the lender, with myself, be able to have that process happen. And you're free and clear afterwards. It's just securing the property, right? It's that giving you that a little extra push.
Okay, let me ask this question. Actually, I'm going to ask you this question. A lot of first-time buyers say, it's just not the right time. The market's going up, or the interest rates are. There's always an excuse. Either the interest rates are too high, or the market's too high, or they think the market's going to crash, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Mm-hmm. I know you timed the market really well, but let me ask this question. Was it a fluke? Were you lucky? Is it a bit of luck and a bit of knowledge? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
actually, you know what? Shout out to me because I pushed you to sell that property. Okay, but you can continue. Go ahead.
So, but long story, like to answer that question on timing the market, simple answer, I don't think so. No. You can look at some factors like when I sold, it was very high. Mm-hmm. So
inventory was super low.
Everybody
remembers that time.
There was like 25 offers on every house.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you look at it like from that perspective, is it a good time to sell? But probably. I mean, like you're going to get, it's your advantage to sell, right? Everyone's coming to you with offers, right?
And if you had an investment at that time, like to me, it was a no-brainer to sell, especially if it wasn't a principal place of residence. Mm-hmm. If you had an investment, you could have cashed out and then could have reinvested in 3-4 months. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, the market's going to keep going. We kind of saw that the market wasn't going to keep going. Well, obviously we didn't know for sure, but if we looked at the trends and we thought this was unsustainable, which a lot of people thought, and you capitalized on it. Yeah. But
we had one of our clients.
Yeah. He
timed the market like perfectly. He thought he had a suspicion. He had a hunch that everything was going to collapse.
Yeah.
So he sold at a peak time.
And do you remember that realtor that we talked to? The person who, because he rented after that. Remember, he said, I'm going to rent for a year, let the market come down. And the realtor on the rental side, when he was renting a property, he goes, hold on, your buddy, or your buddy, whatever, your client, I should say.
It's you, boy.
Yeah, your client just sold his property and the market's like so hot and now he wants to rent. He's going to screw himself and get out of the market, right? He's going to rent now. Market's going to keep going. And we're like, we don't think that's what's going to happen, but yeah, sure. I guess everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And he was raving how this guy's making the biggest mistake of his life.
On and on.
And he put what, $600-700 in his pocket.
He's got his house now.
Clean.
Yeah, clean.
No mortgage anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone. Evaporated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it just fizzled away.
It's a woozy, it's a wazi.
Because you waited for the market to soften, you bought back in.
Yeah.
And actually from that client down the street, he saw what happened with how he sold, and then he sold his property.
Yeah.
Right after.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that another episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about another episode.
That's the debacle.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, you guys are going to want to hear that one in the next episode. That's going to be great. But I will. Go ahead. No. Go back to that. Time in the market.
No.
You first.
Spider-Man. Time in the market for first-time buyer. Is it possible? Like, if you were to just give that simple answer, what was it again?
It's no.
It's no.
It's no.
So let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
When should a first-time buyer enter into the market?
The right answer, the perfect answer, you should get into the market when you're capable of getting into the market.
Okay.
If you have the money down, 10%, 15%, 5%, get in. Because who knows what might happen. It might boom right after, like COVID, and your property might double.
Well, over time, what's going to happen? We know what's going to happen over time, right?
Long term, it's going to go up.
Long term, the market has peaks and valleys, obviously, but over time, if you're looking over, let's say 10 years, 15 years, it's up. Yeah. We know it's up, right? Yeah.
All the way up. All the way up, buddy. Is there a recommendation in terms of what type of property right now? Let's say right now, you're a first time home buyer right now. Is Precon the way to go?
Go ahead. Mike likes this topic.
That's why I knew. I'm not gonna lie. I knew this would get you. Get you fired up.
Give it to us.
Yeah. Again, simple. Bottom line: Precon is not the way to go right now.
Right now, because
why?
Depends on maybe certain areas, maybe certain builders. Sure, but generally speaking, the Precons in Toronto, those condos, they're selling at what? What are they selling at? Like 1,500 a square foot?
No, I think
2,000. What are we
depending where you are in Toronto? Yeah, you can go up to like 2,500 a square foot right now. Like depending where you are. Obviously, parking $200,000.
Why are you buying that Precon for that much when you can buy right now for way less?
Yeah, but go ahead. No. Go ahead. I keep cutting you off. Sorry, buddy.
But go ahead.
And there's people online. This goes back to our first episode. The social media gurus.
There you go.
They go on there and they're talking, buy Precon. It's the best. It's the best. It is not the best.
It used to be.
It used to be great.
Yeah, it used to be great because you used to be able to buy in at cheaper than current market value, 5%, 7%, right?
Yeah. The Leafs used to be great too.
Yeah.
When?
Long time ago.
We weren't
so
alive.
much, right?
Maybe the Sundin era. Yeah.
But we have some personal experience with that. We've bought in Precon back in the day.
When the time was right.
We saw, and it's really easy for your realtor to be able to tell you if that's a good decision or not. Wow. Call your realtor, right? Well, if you're a good realtor.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
But call your realtor, say, hey, I'm interested in this Precon, right? Is it a good investment? As a realtor, we would go look online, see what's selling right now, compare the prices and be like, it's not a good deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you guys did your Precon, that was your first together, right? That's what.
Hamilton.
The Hammer.
That was your first.
That was our first property.
That was your first that one, right? So that's one.
First property that we purchased.
Together.
Right?
Yeah.
But so this is kind of even time back to being a first time home buyer.
Yeah.
A strategy that you could use, right? Of building. Maybe you don't have 20% by yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a great point.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you have 5, and then together with your best friend or with your cousin, or with your
family,
girlfriend,
whatever,
your boyfriend, whatever. Now together you have 10% or you have 8%, 9%, and maybe your income individually is not sufficient to qualify for a mortgage, but collectively you can, right? So there's strategies, there's things that once you get in contact with the right people, right? The realtor connects you with the mortgage broker. You have the conversations. The broker will be able to ask you those probing questions to see what your options are. How are we going to get this done? Right?
Yeah.
Do you have a buddy? Oh, do you have a friend maybe that you can add into this deal? Right? Oh, yeah. Okay. And now it's possible.
Yeah.
Right? So
you got to get creative, right?
Well, you got to get creative. It's not even necessarily about being creative. It's about getting informed. Right? On the options, right? Because I'm not
Information breeds creativity.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome.
Damn, if I could drop these mics.
Should we change the name of this podcast? No, we're not changing the name of this podcast.
Unreal. No, it's what it is. It's a matter of being informed and being connected with the right people, right? And that can help a first time home buyer, see the light, see the opportunity, and
like you were saying. When we purchased our first property together, that was the one in Hamilton. We bought it on a whim. We just drove there one day. Mike's like, we need to buy right now. And within 3 minutes, we owned a property.
Yeah.
We just walked in.
Was it nuts? Maybe. Sure. But we were ready to get in. Mike owns his own principal residence now. I own my own principal residence now. From that Hamilton condo that was worth nothing when we bought it. And even when we sold it, it wasn't worth anything. We made money.
You made money.
But we were able to propel ourselves to buy another investment, our own principal place of residence, right? Our own principal residencies, home, whatever you would say.
Yeah. Just a piece of paper, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like we waited till the condo to get built.
Yeah.
Get the keys, furnish it.
Because then you assigned it, right?
We assigned it, yeah. We assigned it, and it was just perfect timing.
But nowadays, I don't think that's the way to go. I think
there's a million and one assignment. You guys probably don't you have like a whole group just of assignments?
There's assignments coming left, right, and center. You want an assignment right now?
You got it.
You got it. Really, at the end of the day. Yeah. There's people losing their shirts. Why are they losing their shirts? Because they bought 150, 200, 250.
Yeah, my 300.
Overvalued. Yeah, I've seen more, to be honest. I'm just thinking condos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. People bought 300K over value, right? Now they're willing to sell at a 200K loss. They don't even own anything. They own paper. That's all they own. And they're going to give away 200 grand.
Yeah,
it's ludicrous.
That's an expensive piece of paper.
Or they burn down the properties.
Or they,
we don't know.
Conspiracy. Could be wildfires. We haven't heard anything yet concrete. But no, that stems down to being informed and being properly guided by your realtor, by your broker, by whoever else needs to be part of that transaction, right? So let me ask you this. Bottom line for today's episode with first-time buyers, because that's what we talked a lot about today, which is great.
My bottom line is if you have the money, get into the market. Simple as that. If it's condo, detached, townhouse, where you want to live, like in Toronto, up in Barrie, just buy something. Get into the market.
For first-time home buyers, don't be discouraged. There's lots of options out there, even with interest rates where they're at now. If you're connected with the right mortgage agents and realtors and the right people in general, you might be pleasantly surprised at the options available to you. And so make sure you get informed and get connected with the right people, i.e. get connected with us.
Wow, very straightforward there.
Yeah, it's what am I going to do? So go to your bank, go call that realtor down the street. No, call us. We'll take care of it, and we'll show you the way.
What about those realtors that say, if we don't sell it, we'll buy it? Those are the best.
That's not us.
We'll talk about that too later.
We're not doing that. But.
My bottom line is pretty simple. Ask questions. You might not know all the answers that you're looking for. And you might not know what you can and cannot afford, where you should and should not be. If you ask questions, we can ask questions, and it might probe that answer for you that you're looking for. So ask questions 100%.
So that's the bottom line for today. But on the next episode, we're going to jump into some new topics.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the home selling process and how to get your home ready for the market, and what steps you guys should be taking, or we should all be taking to sell our home properly and for top dollar. Obviously, we love that word, top dollar. Every agent loves that word. We'll talk about top dollar then. And what about in terms of the financing side? In terms of
the financing aspect, how does selling your home and the mortgage that's attached to that property, is it portable to the next property? What are the requirements, and how can we assist in the financing aspect of, if you're upsizing, for example, or downsizing, what does the financing component look like?
And we'll bring in personal experience that we ran through, obviously, because we've sold personal homes, clients' homes, right? So we'll bring in personal experiences. Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Right. We will we'll catch you guys.
There's no other topic.
I think that's it for the next episode. Right?
Just we're going to also talk about send this off
and talk a little more shit about what we see online for sure. A little extra.
I like that. That's the bottom line. That one.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on episode 3. Take care.